Hey, what's up, guys? And we're here, episode 4. We're back with some real deep shit. We're back to talk about what's holding you back. So I'm joined today here with Andre. You guys know my boy. Andre, can I get a hey yo?
Heyo.
Hey yo, there's my boy Andre. Okay, so we're here to talk about what's holding you back. And first things first, with me, I think one thing that was holding me back for a long time was my habits, what I was doing on a daily, a weekly, and a monthly basis. Andre, do you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Habits are a huge part. And if you don't start with changing just your small habits, then it's going to come down like a deck of cards. So if you want, you can check out our episode that we did before this one, which was mainly focused on habits. So we suggest you check that out and get into the mood for this video.
Absolutely. So, last thing we had kind of touched on last episode was with your habits, you're building something Andre had mentioned was the compound effect. You're either compounding good things towards happening or bad things towards happening. So, take that into consideration. Another thing that can hold a lot of people back is their past. And that's because they think that their past has a determination of who they are as a person in the future. To some extent, yeah, you can let that help you mold you, but that doesn't determine who you are as a person.
Exactly. It should not hold you back to achieving whatever you want in this life. So, coming from an immigrant background, my past was definitely, not the easiest, but it should never stop you from thinking like, you don't deserve something that you're not equally as someone that you're living within a country. You can do the exact same thing that any of these guys are doing. You can actually even do it better because you come from a background that knows not to take anything in advantage, not to get spoiled, not to, get that really nice car when they're 18. You know what, a tougher life might be. So this will just make it so much more better if you do overcome it.
Absolutely harden you a little bit and give you that, like you said, don't take it for
Yeah.
granted, everything that you have. Absolutely. And a lot of things, like Andre, we were just talking prior to this, and Andre had mentioned to me that some people will be so anxious about the future and what's going to happen tomorrow that they can't even sleep. So sometimes your anxiety about what's going to happen tomorrow or next week or next month can even hold you back.
Exactly. And anxiety is something that all of us experience at one point or another, going to college, going to class, doing something crazy the next day, you're all pumped up and you get that feeling that you're ready to go and you're super pumped about this one, it could be bungee jumping, could be taking the test, could be taking the driver's license, whatever it is. But then, once the adrenaline sort of dies down and you actually realize, like, wow, I'm actually going to do this, the fear, the anxiety kicks in. And that's a huge part of why people stop even before attempting to do anything.
100%, like absolutely. I think we've all felt like that at one point or another, like 150%. And I think something that scares me sometimes, and Andre and I talked about this a couple weeks ago, is like, what if it does work out? What am I gonna do? And I think that's just, you kind of grow up feeling like maybe I am not enough, maybe I can't achieve the things that I want to achieve, and it kind of leaves you feeling less than. But when you do get that success and you do get that reward, and you're just a little dumbfounded, like, am I deserving of it? And I want to let you guys know that absolutely you are. You deserve it. If you had gotten to that point and you had gotten the fruits of your labor, if you will, you absolutely deserve them. And that kind of takes me to my next point is if you're experiencing that now, right here in this exact moment, whatever it is, what we just talked about, your habits, your past, the future, that anxiety, you need to be present in the moment. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about the past. You need to worry about right now and what you can deal with in the current time period.
Exactly. And as Joseph mentioned in the other podcast, the compound effect is what makes it such a powerful tool in, call it your arsenal. Not worrying about what you're going to achieve, getting that $1 million, or, making that whatever $1,000 a day that you see everyone advertise online. It's unfortunately sorry to say, but it's not that easy. That's why it makes it a lot better just to start off with something small, doing it at that present time. Set aside an hour, whatever it is a day, and just do it. Just do something just to get up and running. It doesn't have to be something big, but again, start doing it on a daily basis if you can. That's, I think, the magic, that's the secret behind everybody that is now a huge thing, athlete, financial freedom, whatever it is you desire. You know what I mean?
I'm really glad you mentioned that, Andre, because we've been talking about it for a long time, but maybe you guys follow us on social media, maybe you don't. If you do, I'm just going to make a shout out to A&J Inspiration on IG. But anyway, Andre and I were talking about making consistent posts. I've just told him that Picasso made a painting every second day, and he made thousands and thousands of artworks throughout his life, and the majority of people only know three. So you're going to have a lot of content, and then there's only going to be a small amount of content that people are really going to grab onto, and that's really going to be impactful for your day, your age, your society, everything that you're living and experiencing at that particular moment. And you could be an absolute driving force in the future, but if you're not making that content and you're not pushing yourself every day, you're never going to have it. So Andre, thank you, dude, for just putting more content on our feed, and like you just said,
Of
building that
course.
compound effect.
Exactly, as Joseph mentioned, we don't really see what all these big shots have gone in the past. Like Joe mentioned in Picasso. Another good example is the Beatles. They were playing shows at a local pub 7 nights a week, and every night people were screaming at them like, "Why are you even bothering it? Why are you even playing? You guys suck!" Like, but they kept on going, and now they're one of the most popular bands. Everyone knows them and will know them for the next 100 years. Same thing with Elon Musk, Steve Jobs. All these guys were working their ass off, and nobody knew anything about them. But did that stop them? No, they kept going. They saw a goal, they achieved it, and they did it on a daily basis because that's something they were also proud, passionate about. Not something that will make them millions of dollars down the road, but it was something that they enjoyed doing and made them happy inside. And they released it to the world, and now everyone knows them as the Steve Jobs and the Beatles. But they didn't start off that way. They started off with very small compound effects, but they kept doing it. They kept going on.
Perfect. And I think if there's any one thing that you guys can take from this episode before we round it off and head out is throw out any notion that's holding you back, whether it's your past, whether it's the future, whether it's that anxiety, whether it's your current circumstances. Throw it away. Nothing determines who you are and what you're going to become except for yourself. Andre, anything else you'd like to say before we wrap this up?
Again, I just want to thank you guys for listening in. This is something that me and Joe are passionate about, something that we enjoy doing. So if it can help you out, please leave a comment, tell your friends, let people know because, again, we love doing this kind of thing and we love having you guys hear it. So thank you.
Awesome. That being said, you guys, like Andre said, throw it a like. If you heard something absolutely obscene, I want you to share it. You heard something that you think somebody needs to hear, share it with them. Maybe even don't even make them listen to the whole podcast. Just skip to the part that you think is going to mean something valuable to them. But like Andre said, this is something that we single day, regardless of if we record it or not. And it's because we're passionate about growth and we're passionate about changing the future. So cheers to that, guys, and we'll see you next time.